Hi everyone, this is Karthik from Team Sookshmas. Today I'm going to discuss about solution for placement activity questions. This is the first question. This question belongs to Java, public class Sookshmas and public static void main. Execution of the program begin from the main. Here I have created the string object with the value Sookshmas. And in the next line, I'm applying the length attribute with the reference k dot length. And these are the following options: 9. First option is 9, second option is compile time error, and the third option is runtime error, and the fourth option is 0. Answer is you will get the compile time error. Why? Because if you are trying to attempt or if you are trying to use the length attribute associated with the string object as a reference, so you will get the compile time error. I will repeat once again. If you are trying to attempt to use this is the length attribute with the reference as the string object, you will get the compile time error. How to come from this difficulty? You just apply a method. Then if you are trying to run this code, so we'll get the proper output. See 9. So 9 character present in the string called Sookshmas. So that will be displayed on the screen. This is the second question. Public class Sookshmas and execution of the program begin from the main method. Here I have created the arrays of the size 3. And here I'm applying the length method and the reference called k. And these are all the following options. The first option is 3, and the second option is compile time error, and the third option is runtime error, and the fourth option is 0. Now you will get the compile time error. So why? Because, and if you are trying to attempt the length method and an array, if you are trying to attempt to use a length method and an array, so we'll get the compile time error. To overcome this difficulty, so don't apply length method. So instead of that, try to use an attribute called length. So if you use an attribute called length, so you will get the proper output like size. So if you are trying to use a method, if you are trying to apply a length method on a particular array, so we'll get the compile time error. This is the third question, interface Sookshmas, and here we have a method called synchronize void display, and I'm asking compilation fails at line 3 or not. And this is the one more class called Sookshmas1. This is an abstract class. We have a method inside the abstract class called synchronize abstract void display. Here I'm asking compile whether the compilation fails at line 7 or not. And this is the one more class called thread safe2, and here I have introduced a method called synchronize static void display. And here is also I'm asking whether the compilation fails at line 11 or not. And execution of the program begin from the main. And these are all the following options. The first option is compilation fails at line 3, and the second option is compilation fails at line 7, and the third option is compilation fails at line 11. And the fourth option is, so it will belongs to the, so this is the option 1 and option 2, it seems, not option 3 and option 7. I have changed. The fourth option is option 1 and option 2 also. So you will get the compile time error in the both lines, line 3 also as well as the line 11 also. So correct option is fourth one, option 1 as well as the option 2. Why? Because in the interface all the methods are abstract method by default. If you are trying to use an synchronized modifier, so you will get the compile time error. It's saying modifier synchronize is not allowed here. So if you want to overcome this difficulty, better to remove implicitly treated as a public abstract methods. So public and abstract method by default. And the second one is, this is the abstract class consisting of this is the abstract methods. So abstract method does not have any body, that is correct. But here what type of error you are getting? So illegal combination of the modifier abstract and synchronize. To from this difficulty, so better to remove the synchronized modifier from the abstract. So these are all the changes you have to do for this program. So if you are trying to apply again synchronize, so we'll get the compile time error. This is the fourth question. Find out the incorrect code fragment here. The first code fragment is public class Sookshmas. Here we have a method void add and abstract class abs1 and that is extended from the class called Sookshmas, and execution of the program begin from the main. Here I have created the object for the class called Sookshmas. With the help of the reference, I am calling the add method. This is the code fragment 2 and abstract class Sookshmas 1, and here we have a method called void call. And this is the code fragment 3 class base something base 1 and abstract class EBS1, that is extended from the base class, and the code fragment 4 is class Sookshmas and abstract int variable 1, we are assigning 89 to the variable 1, and here you have to find out the incorrect code fragment. So the first option is code fragment 1, the second option is code fragment 2, the third option is code fragment 3, and the fourth option is code fragment 4. So you will get the compilation error in the code fragment 4. Why? Because so this is what we call it as an instance variable, and here instance variable associated with a modifier called abstract, and this is not allowed here. Okay, if you are trying to remove this code, this work fine. If you are trying to use an abstract associated with the instance variable, so we'll get the compile time error here, and rest of the code is work fine. This question is belongs to the C programming, and int main int I end with a semicolon for I is equal to 0, I less than equal to I plus plus, and separated by comma and followed by the 5 end with semicolon and I plus plus, and printf percentage d I plus plus. These are the following options. Compile time error. Second option is 1 and 4 will be displayed on the screen, and the third option is 2 and 5 will be displayed on the screen, and the fourth option is 2 will be displayed on the screen. If you are trying to run this code, this is the answer. 1 and 4 will be displayed on the screen. And here I will give an explanation. I is initialized with a 0, and this is you have to observe, this is the condition. And here you have to look for the right hand side expression, this one. We have to check the condition for sure, but you have to check for the right hand side expression always here. So 0 less than, and this is the initial value 0, doesn't matter. Okay, you have to concentrate on the right hand side, and the 5 and condition is true. 0 less than 5 true, then it's become 1 here, then 1 will be printed. Why? Because it's a post increment, and 1 will be printed on the screen. Then after that I gets incremented, it's become 2, and here is also it's become 3, and 3 less than something, the value 3, and after that, and you have to check for this expression right hand side. Absolutely condition is true, don't worry about the first one, concentrate on the right side. And here after that 3, it's become the 4, and 4 will be printed on the screen, and it's become 5, then it's become 6, and 6 less than or equal to 6, ignore this one, you have to concentrate on the right hand side. 6 less than 5 condition become false, then it comes out, and that's the reason it is printing 1 and 4. I will repeat once again. For this condition, you have to majorly focus on the right hand side expression. This right hand side you should consider. Suppose if I, instead of the 5, if I put a 0, then if you are trying to run, see, 0 less than 0 doesn't matter, but it will check for this right hand side expression in a condition. So condition become false, then it will come out. So if you place any number, it will work. And if I place 8 over here, definitely one more number will be printed. 147 will be printed on the screen.
Let's look into the solution of placement activity C++ questions which has appeared in previous activity. Here is the first question. Predict the output. We have a base class and a derived class, and in base class and derived class we have considered a keyword public and the same function name ydes. Like you can see the same function name. And in main, as program executes from the main, we have created object like this, like base star q is equal to new derived. With this base class and the derived class names, we have created an object of this. Okay, and when we are calling through this, like q is equal to yes function, which will print is the question. Okay, here are the options. Sookshmas, we are knowing, garbage value, compile error. Let's look into the program and let's run it and check it. Okay, As I've shown you, this is a question. And if we run this, I'll just save and run this as I've already gone through this, all these things. You can see the output. Beyond knowing is coming as a output. Okay. This is because we have used a keyword. Where we have used a keyword, I'll just show you with the program again. Yeah, this virtual keyword, when we use it in the specific class, what it does, the priority of this will be less and the priority of the derived class will be more, and it prints the beyond knowing. So to overcome this, what you have to do is, like, if you remove the virtual keyword here and just save it, and if you are running it again, you'll observe a different output. And what is that output will be like? Sookshmas will be the output. Okay. I'll just run and show you again. Yeah, here you can see Sookshmas will be the output. This is what you get. And this is what happens that derived class and base class, whatever you have considered, which will be the having the highest priority and which will have the lowest priority with this specific keyword is what is the question. And here you can look at the output. Okay. And this is also the concept of early binding and late binding. If you consider a virtual keyword here, it becomes a late binding, and it doesn't print the Sookshmas, it's go with the B key. Okay. This is what it results in. Let's look into the next question. Yeah. We have considered in a main function character A is equal to Sookshmas, and what we are doing, we are just printing. And on next line, we are trying to increment a plus plus, and count C out is equal to, again we are trying to print the values. What will be the output? Sookshmas, or Sookshmas, or else it's a compile error, or we'll get it as plus 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 plus. What is the output? Let's run and check it. Yeah, as you can see here, when we build it, it'll give us a compile error because this is a constant variable where you cannot increment this value. So it will result in error. If you are removing this, if you are just commenting, trying to comment this, you'll all get fine. Okay. If you just try to comment and if I build it again, you can see the error goes. Okay. This is what happens. So when you run this again, what will be the output? I'll share you the screen. Sookshmas will get it as the output. Okay. Yes, as you can see, Sookshmas will get it as the output. And yeah, you cannot use that constant and increment the values. That is what you'll get it as an error. Okay.
Now we can move to the Python question solution, which is appear on a previous placement activity. First question is, this is the first question. First, I'm declaring one object called temp. In every variable in Python, we call it as an object only. So in that temp object, I'm just storing a value as a temp. Then the one more function is declaring, that is a func C. So in that, I'm declaring again the temp variable. So here it is act as a global only. So it is not a local variable, it is act as a global. So here I'm just again modifying with the temp as a 20 value. Again I'm printing. But before calling this function, I'm just printing a temp variable here. So this temp variable printing as a 10 only. Why? Because I'm not calling that function. So it is just displaying a 10 as a value only. Then after that, I'm calling a function. So in that calling function, here it is declaring a temp variable as a global. Global means it is act even after the like after the function, or else outside of the function. It acts like a global only. Means it is affect the global temp variable also. So here I'm just modifying the temp variable, then I'm just printing here. Again, after the function calling also, when it is come back to return here, again I'm printing a temp variable. First it is displaying a 10, then I'm calling a function. Here it is displaying a 20. Again I'm displaying here. Here what it is displaying? It is displaying 20 only. Why? Because it is acts as a global. Global means even after the function, like, or else outside of the function, the temp variable is changed to 20. If I'm not mentioning this global, then it is printing only 10. Means on that time it is just displaying 10, 20, 10. But here I'm declaring the global. That means even outside of the function temp variable having a 20 value only. So for that reason, the option A is the right answer. Let me check in the online compiler with the C. I'll show you how it is working. Just copy the same program. Here I'm using the online compiler to run the program. Just paste in here. Let me run this program. Wait a minute. Network is too slow. Okay, now you can check here. 10, 20, 20. Let me remove this global also. Then you can understand clearly. Okay, now I can run. Now it is taking only 10. Why? Because this temp as act like a here local variable. So it is just changing the value here only. Why it is local? Yeah, it is a local variable 10. So for that reason, it is a local. So we want to declare itself. It's okay. Just run. You're just taking a modified that temp variable in within a function also and just printing. Now you can observe here, it is act as a local variable here. If you mention global as a temp, that means it is act like a global variable. Means even after the function also, it will reflect with the same value, what you modified in a function. This is all about the first question. Okay, next I'll move to the next question. So here it's a simple question. It is a lambda kind of functions. Means I can assign the function to some object. With the object, I can call a here it is means normally in a lambda function we are passing only one variable. So if two more variables are there in a lambda function and I need to do with the values with a different values and with a different name, I can assign a particular function to a object or else different object. So here we can check. This is one function I'm just defining. In that function, I'm just declaring a lambda. Lambda, you all know that it's a special feature of present in Python. So first, I'm just assigning this function to done. So in that function, first here I'm passing a 5 as a parameter that will assign to a n. Here it is assigned to a n. So then I'm just like assigning this function to a object that is a done. So here in while printing, I'm just calling done. So no need to call this do now. Here I'm just assigning to done means I can directly call this object only. So here I'm passing a 2. 2 means it is actually lambda function having a two variables. One it is a and one it is a n. So if I'm calling this done, this 2 will assign to this particular a. So purely I'm calling a doc now. On that time it is passing a 5. That 5 variable, 5 value is passed like assigned to this n. And now even if I am calling a done, on that time this 2 will assign to a. So okay, let me check this when I'm calling a done, it will goes to here. Then it is taking a n value. N value means what? 5. So 5. Okay, here I'm doing operation with a n only, not with a a. So okay, let me consider this a having a firstly 2 value. So when I'm doing operation, n is having a 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. So priorly a is having a 2. So now it is replaced with a 10. So it is written a value. So when that time it is just printing a 10. Okay, let me run this program. You can see the output. Just paste it, then run. Wait a minute, my network is slow. Yeah, you can observe here that where 10 value is printing. So okay, I'll change a bit thing here. Okay, if I'm changing this as to a, now you can get easily. What is the n value of here? 5. What is the a value? It is 2. Purely what is the a value? Even a value is a 2. Here also it's a 2. So 2 plus n is 5. 2 plus 5 is 7. Now the 7 value assigned to a. Then that 7 value returns here in this print. Okay, let me run this program. You can see here, 7 is printed. This is all about this second program. Okay, we can move to the next. So this is a simple function. Even in the previous placement preparation, you just see that empty class. Here I'm creating an empty function. In the Python, we can create an empty function, empty class that can allows to create in a Python. So there is no error in here, and it is not printing anything. So if I'm call this function, it will just run that particular function. It will just call that function. Here I'm giving a pass. Pass means it's just it means it will go to the next. Pass means it will go to the next. Same thing like a break kind of thing in a Python. So when I'm call this function, it is not displaying anything. Even it is none. No, none is also not displaying. Null is not also displaying. Even error is also not there. It is not displaying anything. It is nothing displaying. So that is the answer. It is a simple one. You can run this also. You can check. It is not displaying anything. So that is only the answer. Option C is the answer. Nothing displaying. Even we can call a empty function, empty method function, or also an empty class also. When you create an empty class, pass means it is nothing but a break. Break means if I call that function, it just go to this function and take a pass. Pass means break. So see here, nothing is displaying. So this is all about the third question. So fine guys, this is all about the Python question solutions. You can keep on playing in the Sunday activity. Okay, thank you all.